Dear student, semantic analysis is the third phase of the natural language processing. We have already understand about the semantic analysis as we know that the semantic analysis check the meanings of the word. So here I will teach you what are the relationship between words. Here are three perspectives on meaning of the word. First one is the lexical semantic. In the lexical semantic, the meaning of individual words are checked. And in formal semantic, it is also called compositional semantic or sentential semantic, where we check how those meanings combine to make meaningful for individual sentence or utterances. And third perspective is discourse or pragmatics, where we check how those meanings combine with each other and with other facts about various kind of context to make meaning for a text or discourse. Dialogue or conversion is often lumped together with discourse. So there is some terminology related to semantic analysis. Lemmas and word form. In the lemmas and word form, first word is called lexeme and second word is called lemma. A lexeme is an abstract pairing of meaning and form, and a lemma or citation form is the grammatical form that is used to represent a lexeme. Carpet is the lemma for carpets. It is just like a surface term. It is just like a stem of any word, which we have already understand in previous lecture. Specific surface form for carpet chunks are called word forms. The lemma bank has two senses. When we talk bank is a word. You can say it lemma as well as you can say it as stem. It has two senses. Instead, a bank can hold the investment in a custodial account in the client name. Here, bank has a sense in the financial institution. But in another sentence, but as agriculture versions on the east bank, the river will shrink even more. Here, bank is a word which denotes the river side. A sense is a discrete representation of one aspect of the meaning of a word. So when we talk about the relationship between word meaning, so here seven type of relationship arise. First one is called homonymy. Second one is polysemy. Third one is synonymy. Fourth one is antonymy. Fifth one is hypernymy. Sixth one is hyponymy. And seventh one is meronymy. We will discuss one by one. So homonymy, in the homonymy, each of the two or more words having the same spelling or pronunciation but different meaning and origins. So some word having same spelling and pronunciation but different meaning and origin, then these kind of words are called homonymy. Homophones and homographs are also come under this class. So lexeme that share a form, phonological, orthographic or both. Its lexeme share form, phonological and orthographic or both. It is same but have unrelated distinct meaning. For example, bat. Bat may be a wooden stick like things you can play by this, and bat is another meaning flying scary mammal things, which is also called chamgadar. When we talk about the bank, bank is a financial institute versus bank is a riverside. So these kind of words are called homonymy, or you can say the homonyms. Homonymy can be homophones, homographs, or both. When we talk about the homophones, homophones have having different meaning and different spelling, but pronunciation are same. Just like a right and right, peace and peace. And when we talk about homographs, homographs again contain same spelling and same pronunciation, but it contain different meanings. When we talk about the word fine, then word fine having three meaning. First one is very good, another meaning is sharp or keen, and another meaning is a sum of money paid to settle a matter. Second one is polysemy. And the polysemy is characterized as the phenomenon whereby a single word form is associated with two or several related senses. It is distinguished from monosemy, where one word form is associated with single meaning, and homonymy, where a single word form is associated with two or several unrelated meaning. Then this is come under polysemy. When we talk about the word bank, the bank word contains two senses. Echo. The bank is constructed from red brick. It means riverside. It means bank meaning is riverside, where bank is constructed from red brick. And I withdrew the money from the bank. It means it is the financial institute where I can withdraw the money. Are those the same sense? No, because these are the polysemy where the word is same but senses are different. Then this come under polysemy. When we talk about the synonyms, words that have the same meaning in some or all context. It means here the two or more words are different but its meanings are same. Suppose the meaning of couch and sofa are same, big and large meaning are same, automobile and car are same, vomit and throw up meanings are same, and water and H2O meaning are same. Two Lakshmi are synonyms if these they can be successfully substituted for each other in all situations. When we talk about the situation where we are using the word, but sometimes it's happened that the meaning of the words are same, but according to situation, it's not up to mark. For example, consider the word big and large. Are they synonyms? Yes. How big is that plane? So here it means plane कितना बड़ा है. Would I be flying on a large or small plane? क्या मैं लार्ज और स्मॉल प्लेन में उड़ सकती हूँ या उड़ सकता हूँ या उड़ूंगी? तो इसका मतलब है कि लार्ज एंड बिग यहाँ पर दोनों का मतलब सेम है. यू कैन यूज बिग एज वेल एज लार्ज फॉर द प्लेन. बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द सेंटेंस मिस नेल्सन फॉर इंस्टांस become a kind of big sister to Benjamin. Here the big means elder sister. But when we talk about another sentence, Miss Nelson, for instance, become a kind of large sister to Benjamin. But here large is not fitting for elder because large means in size, large in size, big in size. But when we talk about the uh, large in big in age, then we cannot use the word large. We will use their elder or some other word. Big has a sense that meaning being older or grown up. Large lack this sense. So sometimes the same meaning of different words contain same sense, but sometimes different meaning of the same word lack this sense. So when we talk about antonyms, antonyms means opposite words. Senses that are opposite with respect to one feature of their meaning. Suppose we have some words like dark and light, both are different. Short and long, both are different, opposite of others. Hot and cold are the opposites of other. Up and downs are the opposites of each other. In and out is the opposite of each other. More formally, antonyms can define a binary opposition or at opposite end of a scale. So we can take long and short. Long and short are the opposite of each other. Fast and slow are the opposite of each other. So it defines a binary opposition. Binary opposition means um, two. Binary means two. Long meaning short and short means long. Long antonyms of long is short and antonyms of short is long. So this is the binary opposition. We reversive rise and falls and up and downs are the reversive opposite. And the relationship in words are called hyponymy and hypernym. So when we talk about hyponym, this is represents subordination, and when we talk about hypernym, this represents superordination. So you can understand by the help of this example. One sense is hyponym of another if the first sense is more specific, denoting a subclass of the other. You can understand by example. Its synonyms is the synonyms of hyponyms is subordination. Like car is subordinate of vehicle, as well as you can say that car is hyponym of vehicle. Dog is hyponym of animal. Mango is hyponym of fruit. And its conversely, its opposite is called hypernym, which is also called superordination. Here you can say that vehicle is a hypernym of car, and animal is a hypernym of dog, and fruit is hypernym of mango. So when we talk about these words, then vehicle, fruits, furniture, and mammals are the superordinate of its subordinate car, mango, chair, and dog respectively. Here we are discussing about WordNet. WordNet is a large lexical database of English noun, verb, adjective, and adverb are grouped into set of cognitive synonyms, which is also called synsets, each expressing a distinct concept. Synsets are interlinked by means of conceptual, semantic, and lexical relations. The resulting network of meaningfully related word and concept can be navigated with the browser. WordNet is also freely and publicly available for download. You can click by download and get the WordNet library. WordNet structure make it useful tool for computational linguistics and natural language processing. So in the field of natural language processing, WordNet has so much importance. You can search WordNet on internet where you can find the various English noun, verb, adjective, and adverbs are grouped into set of cognitive system and by which you can find the natural language processing knowledge and you can find the synonyms, antonyms, hyponyms of different words. So it is a hierarchical organized lexical database. Online thesaurus, thesaurus plus aspect of a dictionary. You can say that this is the online dictionary or thesaurus, and version for other languages are under development. Its categories, when we talk about category noun, then its unique forms are available 1,17,798. Then verb category, its unique forms are available 11,529. And the category of adjective, its unique forms are available 21,479. and in the category of adverbs, it's available 4481. So you can check online. So when we talk about the WordNet entries, so if I am taking the word noun bass, bass has 8 senses in WordNet. First, bass means the lowest part of the musical range. Bass, the second meaning of the word bass, the lowest part in polyphonic music. And the third meaning of the bass, an adult male singer with the lowest voice. And you can use the word bass with some other word like sea. Then this become a sea bass. And sea bass is a fish which is available in the ocean. Actual meaning is the lean fleece of a saltwater fish of the family Saranide. Freshwater was meaning any of various North American freshwater fish with lean flesh, especially of the genus Micropetrus. The sixth meaning of bass is the lowest adult male singing voice. The seventh meaning of bass, the member with the lowest range of a family of musical instruments. The eighth means of bass is non-technical name for any of the numerous edible marine and freshwater spiny find fishes. When we use bass as an adjective, then the adjective bass has one sense in WordNet. Bass 1, having or denoting a low vocal or instrumental range. You can use it a deep voice, a bass voice is lower than a baritone voice, a bass clarinet. It means you are using the word bass as a adjective. And another relationship is called meronym. Meronyms means it is a term used to describe a part or relationship between lexical items, single or group of words that convey a single meaning. It's related to the part or relationship. You can understand by the help of example. How to identify meronyms? X is a meronym of by. If X is a part of by, it means you can say the by has X. Suppose button is a part of shirt, it means button is a part of shirt. Or you can say that shirt has X. You can understand again. X is meronyms of Y. It means shirt button is a meronyms of by. Button is a meronyms of shirt. If shirt is a but if button is a part of shirt, or you can say that shirt has button. So you can see by the help of some other example. Meronym reflect hierarchical classification in the lexicon. It means you can say that it follow the inheritance in natural language processing. The lexicon of a language is its vocabulary, including its word and expression. In other words, it is a language inventory of lexims. You can see by the help of these examples. Cover and page are part of book. Thus, they are meronyms of books. A finger is a part of hand. Thus, finger is a meronyms of hand. Nose is a meronyms of face. And collar is a meronyms of shirt. Usual but not obligate. It means some shirt also come without collar. So those shirts which come with collars, and collar is a meronyms of words. In this slide, we are going to show the difference between meronyms and hyponyms. In hyponyms is always transitive, meaning that if an item is a part of a part, then that first item is part of the larger whole. It means you can see that by the help of example, hyponyms represent the part of relationship. So it can and it is also follow transitive property. By the help of example, you can understand hawk is a hyponym of bird and bird is a hyponym of animal. So hawk is a hyponym of animal. Hawk is a kind of bird and bird is kind of animals. So you can say that the hawk is kind of animals by the help of transitive property. And when we talk about the meronyms, meronyms also contain the part of relationship, but it may or may not have transitive property. So you can understand this also by example. Nail is a meronyms of finger and finger is a meronyms of hand. So we can say that nail is meronyms of hand. For we can say hand has nails. So meronyms in this example also following the transitive property. But we talk about the intransitive example. So whole is a meronyms of button and button of shirt. But we can't say that whole is a meronyms of shirt. So we can not say shirt has holes. So here the transitive property is not suitable for meronyms. So you can say that the formula, or you can say that the another example of meronyms and hyponyms. So meronyms and hyponyms contains the part of or kind of or type of relationship. So when we talk about the example of meronyms, then oxygen is a part of air. Example of meronyms, and cheetah is a kind of or type of cat. This is a hyponym. So it is all about relationship between words meaning. Thank you.